Hey, what's going on? I'm Quis. This is the Knicks State of Mind podcast, joined as always by my co-host Inf. Inf, man, how's everything with you?
Good, good. Glad to finally be back. It's been a
There's a
minute.
huge government scandal going
Facts.
on. I need you.
It's definitely been some time since the last time we were able to speak and get on here and talk about the Knicks. But right now, it's a good time to talk about the Knicks. Knicks have been looking pretty good. We are fresh off a win against the Indiana Pacers that finally got us to 500. So, do you have any thoughts on that game last night?
Not, yeah, you know what? My thoughts are that RJ almost cost us that game. That's my thought. That was a game that we were up 6 with like a minute left. RJ almost cost us that game.
I mean, yeah, RJ did have those two missed free throws. That's understandable. But I think RJ late in that game is kind of what helped us keep that lead. And he kind of put us in front as well. I got my notes. So RJ tied the game at 98. He also got an assist for three. I think the assist was to Julius Randle. That put us up 102.98. Right after that, RJ also had a layup that put us up 104.98. And then he had a beautiful pass to Reggie Bullock. And of course, for some reason, it's like no one on the Knicks can catch the ball. So Bullock
Yes.
fumbled that, and then it ended up being a turnover. So I think down the stretch, RJ played well. He also was able to knock down a bunch of threes. What was he, 4 of 6, 5 of 6 from three? So I think he performed well, and I think he kind of showed that as he develops, he'll be able to fill that role as the secondary scorer on the team behind Julius Randle. Because I liked what I saw in those clutch moments. Outside of those free throws, I understand, how you feel when it comes to him missing crucial free throws to put the game away. But it's something he's worked on this season, and I think he's getting better.
I mean, but see, that's the thing, though. Like, it's in what you just said. The fact that he missed crucial free throws. It's not like these are whatever free throws. It's like you're either built for this moment or you're not. And to miss both, like,
Yeah.
and why I say he almost cost us the game is because, like, even if he would have made one,
Mm-hmm.
they get the ball back. If they hit a three, it's tied up. We can go into overtime. But he missed both. So if we didn't get that turnover the very next play, and they hit a three, that's game over. Like we would have lost because he missed both free throws in that moment.
I mean, I hear you. And luckily, the Pacers looked like they didn't know what they were doing at the end of that game. That handoff between Sabonis and
Yeah.
I think it was McConnell on that last play. If chat, correct me if I'm wrong. If Nudie said free inf. Yo, that's why I love the chat. Chat is hilarious. How's it going, chat? 23 Blade, how's everything? Delano Steel, Hoodie Swish, Shintaru Hari, thank you guys for pulling up to the chat. I know it's been a while, but we've got a lot of things to talk to you about and to talk to each other about. I haven't seen M since what, Tuesday?
Word, it's been a minute.
And Inf and I went over to Clyde's restaurant and we had dinner. It was a great experience. And it was McConnell. Thank you, Delano, for holding me down. So just want to jump into the box score real quick, just so we can review some of what the team did out there. Let's see. So I know the bottom, Quickly and Burks are a little bit cut off, so I'll read out those stats. But as you can see, Julius Randle and Nerlens Noel were forced to have a bulk of the minutes because unfortunately Taj Gibson went down, and we're going to have to need somebody on this roster to kind of step up. And I know you don't like Knox, Inf, but Knox did have 2 minutes at the four to end the second half. I don't know, to end the first half, second quarter. And Knox was, serviceable. He didn't do much, but he was a plus 8 out there.
Nothing. He was out there running back and forth. That's it. That's all he did. He didn't even attempt the shot because he knew what it was.
Yeah, it's crazy. But hopefully Tibbs, implements Knox at the four because I think Knox can be an asset. You saw not the game against the Pacers, but the previous game. He was out there in garbage minutes and he knocked down a beautiful 3-point shot from the corner. So if Knox can be out there and continue to stretch the court, it'll help out Julius Randle and it'll also help out Derrick Rose because as you've seen, a lot of Derrick Rose's damage has been him getting into the paint and either finding players, while they're open on the corner or on the wing, or finishing at the actual rim.
No, I mean, I agree. Like in those moments where he's dishing and passing out the three, I would much rather see Knox being the one taking the three instead of like an Obi Toppin. But as for like getting the bulk of the minutes at 4, I would rather still see Obi get much more minutes than Knox. Like I want to see Obi getting minutes, especially with Taj being out. Like it doesn't make sense that Taj is out and Obi played 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's like Tibbs has a much shorter leash for some of these young guys. For example, Quickly pulled Quick. I think after what was it, a bad attempt to draw a foul, he ended up pulling him and sitting him down. But then you saw a few minutes later, Derrick Rose had a turnover, and I'm not saying you have to bench Derrick Rose, but you've seen time and time again where veterans have issues or make mistakes, have mental lapses. For example, Burke or Bullock, and Tibbs really does not yank him. So it's unfortunate to see how he's handling both an Obi and an Emmanuel Quickly.
No, yeah. And what also, when it comes to Quickly specifically, like in that first quarter, when we was down by like 30, basically, that's what it felt like at least. Like he waited until it was 2 minutes left in the quarter to bring Quickly in. I'm like, why are you keeping the starting lineup in there that long when they're getting straight up demolished? Like, change the rotation, bring Quickly in. It was weird seeing Frank off the bench first. Like,
Bro,
seeing that you need offense and you go to Frank. Come on.
Yeah, that kind of threw me through a loop too, to have Frank be the first guard off the bench. Frank's first game back, I think, was last game, and now he's coming off the bench before an Emmanuel Quickly, when Emmanuel Quickly has been that spark plug for the team. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but Tibbs, I guess he has his master plan, and as long as we continue to win, it's hard to really attack him or say that what he's doing is highly questionable, because of course Tibbs has lived and breathed basketball a lot longer than I have. But if some of his decisions start to cost us the game, then you're going to start hearing it from fans.
No, absolutely. I mean, especially when it's against a team that we should be beating. The Pacers are a team that, I mean, I've constantly said it. Like the first time we played them, when they had Victor Oladipo, the second time we played them, when we won, this is a team that we can beat. The first game we should have beaten them, but that was a game that unfortunately quickly got injured with the hip, and then after that, they took the lead and they ran with it. So if we end up losing a game like this, where it's a game that we should easily win, then it's going to be focused more on his coaching and like, why is he making the decisions with the rotation? Because there's no way that they're more talented than we are.
Yeah, that's a fact. Also, I just want to say salute to Wayne Peterson. Thank you for pulling up to the show. Also, Delano, he says, why does Bullock seem to be activated for one half of basketball? Outside of the Cleveland and Miami games, he's forgettable in the second half. Because he's a fringe role player, That's why he has not found a home. And we need to have an upgrade at the 3 if we want to be more competitive when we eventually get to the playoffs. Because with the way the team is competing right now, I expect them to get into the playoffs. I'm not expecting them to have a home field or home court advantage in the playoffs, because I think right now with us at 4, that's what we would get, quote unquote, even though, fans are back in the stadium now. So we are in the arena now. So we probably are going to have a legit home stadium, home field advantage. Talking multiple sports, you get the you get the courts messed up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know with Reggie Bullock. It's stressful because you have Knox on the team, and I think Knox can both play the 3 and the 4. So why they continue to go with Reggie is beyond me. But thank you, Delano, for bringing that up when it comes to Reggie Bullock. To me, it's just a stressful situation. And what about you? Are you as frustrated with Reggie Bullock as me and Delano?
No, yeah, I think he's just there because we don't have anybody else. That's really it. I mean,
but we have Knox, bro. It's not like we don't have anybody else. Give Knox some shine.
At least Bullock has hit shots. He's produced points for us every now and then. Knox, I mean, look at this game. He got 0. He got 0 everything. And usually, like we said, Knox averages about 4 points a game. So it's not like we're gonna put Knox and then we're gonna expect him to do better than Reggie Bullock's 9 points. At least I don't.
Well, I think. Go ahead. If I thought you just
if Reggie Bullock wants to put up 9 points, and be a 0 for the plus minus, I'll take that easily. You know what? As long as you're not a negative anything, like it is what it is.
Yeah, I think Knox could be the answer at the 3. I just don't understand why Tibbs wants to rely on a Reggie Bullock. You know, Reggie Bullock is as inconsistent as I think Kevin Knox is at times. It's just Kevin Knox hasn't been given the opportunity to really flourish in this system. The same thing with Obi. It's like Tibbs is refusing to adjust certain principles in his offense in order to accentuate the talents of his young guys. He's rather stick with his system and have the veterans kind of do the best they can, as opposed to getting a little bit creative and getting Obi to the rim. Because whenever Obi attacks the rim, he looks much better than when he's just a pick and pop player, and that's the only way they try to use him. So, I don't know. I know Knox is a piece that we could use at the 3. I just don't know why Tibbs has been reluctant to work with them or to use them on the court.
I mean, my only assumption is he's probably seen way too many bricks in practice or something. Like,
but Knox is shooting over. I think Knox is still shooting over 40% from 3. So even if he's bricking in practice, he's out there.
Mean, it's only because he ain't taking that many. Like, you take 10 shots, you make 4 of them. Hey, you shooting 40% from 3. That percentage could go down with the more shots you take. Like, it's just realistic.
Yeah. What you call it? Anudi said it's that Bullock moves a lot, so it looks like he's doing something. Knox chills in the corner a lot. That's a fact. When I was doing the film sessions, you would see Kevin Knox. He would just stand in the corner and he would just wave his hand like, I'm open, I'm open. I understand you may think you're open, but sometimes the passing lane isn't there. So he should be moving around and trying to get open to catch and shoot or get in better positions to knock down catch and shoot threes. Hey, Monique, how's it going? How's everything with you? My sister's in the chat. Hey, Monique.
All right, so I guess this is a good time to segue since a lot of people have been talking. I see a lot of trades in the comments. So the first one we wanted to talk about was
Cam Reddish, a potential Cam Reddish trade. Now, I just dropped a video talking about it, but I wanted to get Inf's perspective on it a little bit more, because when we were out to dinner at Clyde's restaurant, he actually put me on. So, Inf, how would you feel about a potential Cam Reddish for Kevin Knox trade?
I mean, when I first saw it, I was indifferent, simply because I'm like, do we really need a shooting guard? We have a plethora. That was my thoughts at first, but then looking into Cam Reddish's game, he can play the 3 for sure, and he could ball. Like he could score. He is straight up a scorer. He doesn't have like the length that Knox has, but he knows how to create his own shot. He doesn't have to rely on somebody just getting him open. So being that like he'll be another scorer where we don't have to expect someone to just stand at 3 and call for the ball, he will move the floor and hopefully get Reggie Bullock on the bench.
Yeah, I like Cam Reddish. And if anything, it's because you kind of reset the money. Cam Reddish is on his second year of his rookie deal, and he was drafted, if I'm not mistaken, 4 spots behind Kevin Knox. So if Kevin Knox is not going to be an answer for us now, and we're not going to do anything with Kevin Knox other than let him spoil on the bench, I would say, hey, move him for a Cam Reddish, because I think Cam Reddish would help. I don't know if he automatically solves our problems at the 3, but he's an option that we can try, and he's a player that can both help now and develop and potentially be that long-term option for us at 3.
A lot of people don't like. Hate and Nate said no. Anodi said Kevin Knox for Kevin Knox. Hate and Nate said trade Rivers for Reddish. I forgot we even had Rivers, to be honest.
Well, actually, Hate and Nate, the only that wasn't the only trade. There are more trades that include Austin Rivers. I think my favorite trade was a trade in which we would acquire the Hawks. So you see this trade, Knox Rivers for Reddish Rondo. I really don't like the Rondo acquisition, but I could live with it because I think Rondo would help unlock Obi. But they have a trade here that I kind of like the best. It was Cam Reddish, Rajon, and Okongwu for Knox, Rivers, and Noel. I get a young 4 in Okongwu, who we can also try to implement at the 5. He was the 6th overall pick for the Hawks this year. And you're also getting Cam Reddish, who's a project. But we've seen Tibbs get the most out of a lot of players on this roster. So if we can put Cam Reddish with Tibbs, I think we can get a lot from him. And I think you have a team that is still deep, but you address issues at the 3. And of course, this was before the injury, so you can't make this trade now until Mitch comes back and until Taj is a little healthy. But at that point, I would be okay with this trade.
No, yeah. I mean, like I said when I first brought this up, my only issue with us trading for Rondo is that we're once again trading for a point guard who can't shoot.
Yeah, true.
Like,
true.
it just makes it so easy to defend. But Rondo specifically, he knows how to get everyone involved. So, like you mentioned, like I feel like that'd be the best situation for Obi. It would just be about Tibbs making sure that he's pairing Rondo with Obi, because Obi, he's a slasher. Like he could yam if he needs to.
Yeah, Obi definitely needs that point guard to set him up, and I think Derrick Rose has done some of it, but of course we haven't seen Rose and Obi on the court enough because Obi's just not getting minutes. So I mean, I like this trade. I like the way it would be set up, but like the same issues you say, Rajon Rondo can't shoot, but the way he facilitates, I think it's definitely something that we should consider, something that we should pursue. Anudi is saying leadership in the second unit. Jay is saying shout out to me and you, Inf. Also, JD. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying shout out.
Yeah, Jay is also saying salute. Where's JD? JD's on with me in a Knicks report, and then Knicks state of mind is me and Inf.
Yeah. True shooting guard size.
With size.
Word.
I mean, but I don't know. I think Cam has the size to be a legit 3 in the league. Because right now we're putting RJ at 3 sometimes with the second unit. So if you're saying RJ can be a legit 3 with the second unit, then I'm pretty sure Cam Reddish could be a 3 with the starting lineup. He's playing the 3, I think, right now with the Hawks primarily. I mean, he's injured now. He's had some injury with his Achilles, and he's been unable to play the last 4 games. So
I don't know how I feel about that. Achilles, that ended your career real quick. I don't know now.
It's just Achilles soreness. He didn't tear his Achilles.
All right, I don't know.
We see
gotta run some X-rays or something. Make sure we getting something for our nothing. Like, listen.
Yeah, but I mean, I like Cam. Cam is just that piece to me. If we're not gonna put Knox in that situation, then give Knox the ability to kind of flourish elsewhere and get a new home, and let's see what Cam Reddish can do. Because remember, when Cam Reddish got drafted, all his peers, all the players that were drafted with him, all predicted Cam Reddish to be the best out that draft. Now, could they be crazy? Probably, because you remember Zion was in that draft as well. But they played against Cam in AAU, coming up the system in college. So I kind of give a lot of weight to what they're saying. And if they're saying Cam was going to be the best out that draft class, I'd be willing to bring him in and see if we can unlock what some of his peers saw.
I mean, that would make sense since, I mean, he's on the Hawks with Trae Young. So it's not like he's going to get any time to really shine. Trae Young is extremely ball dominant. So, I mean, maybe he'll just come to New York and it'll be a fresh start since we don't have that straight up pure ball dominance person. You can argue Randall, but not really.
Yeah, Vibes is asking. Jay is asking me. Do you think the Knicks make a move if they continue winning into the trade deadline? Maybe a cheaper route like Depot. Oladipo is interesting. A little bit less interesting now that you're saying that he declined a 2-year, $45 million deal. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I make a trade for Depot if he's gonna want in excess of $50, $60 million a year. I don't know if I trade assets for that. If I'm gonna have to pay that much out of pocket, then I'm gonna say let me just sign you and keep my assets. But I do think the Knicks may make a trade because Tibbs. It seems like with all these rumors swirling that Tibbs is itchy to make a move. So if Tibbs gets his way, he got his way with Derrick Rose. So I'm expecting him to see or at least make some acquisition to kind of bolster this roster a little bit more. What do you think, Inf?
No, I 100% expect Tibbs to make a move, and I feel like his argument to the Knicks organization is going to be like, listen, like everything that I've asked you for, you've given me, and now we're at the fourth seed. Like, if you give me this next piece, I will make sure that we're content. Like he now put himself in a position where he has the weight to prove his worth. Saying that, listen, you give me what I want, and I'm going to give you some wins because he's doing it. If we were in a position where we were like the eighth seed or outside of the playoffs, but just almost there, I don't see him, making a trade. But being that we're like fourth seed, even though it's only like one win ahead, I see him trying to make one strong move just to give us that extra push to be competitive. Not contenders, but competitive.
Who do you think Tibbs might target? You think he might do a big move like a Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal, or do you think he might do something smaller, more in line with this Cam Reddish deal that we're talking about?
I think he has full faith in Randall, so I think it'd probably be like a smaller deal, like a Cam Reddish. Only because, well, it wouldn't be a Zach LaVine after he just got Rose. We have Quickly, we have, he has Peyton, which he favors Peyton, and there's no trading Peyton, so we're stuck with him. So I don't see us going for a point guard anymore. Maybe Bradley Beal, but we would have to give up everything for him. So doubt it. So I think he'd probably go with the smaller thing because in his mind, Julius Randle was still his guy.
Well, they could probably still do LaVine and throw LaVine off ball. So I wouldn't say there's no chance in LaVine, and it'd probably lean more so to a Bradley Beal deal. But I think that we're gonna move slowly. We're gonna move with caution. I think Leon Rose, although Tibbs has gotten his way on a few other trades, I think Rose is looking at things big picture, and I don't think he wants to show his hand too early, especially in a season where things are kind of a little bit off right now. We're not playing the full 82. Teams are still in somewhat of a bubble situation. So to make a major move like that and send 5, 6 players or 4 or 5 players elsewhere just to bring in a marquee talent, I don't think they would mess with the chemistry right now. And if you look at the Drummond trade with that article, they were saying the Knicks were considering it, but they were kind of wary because they don't know how it would mess up the team chemistry rise. So I think right now the team is going to put chemistry at the forefront, especially with the way that they're playing, and try to target smaller moves as opposed to a large move. That they might wait until the offseason for.
Perhaps. I still think by trade deadline we're going to do something. But no, like that Drummond trade, Drummond isn't a player that I would want. I feel like, again, he's not a difference maker. He's not going to come and then immediately, the Knicks are serious. No, like he's not that. 2, this is like his contract year. Like we would have to give up a lot to get him for literally this season, and then that's it. He's gone because in my opinion, he's not worth offering a big deal to anyway. So I'm completely against a Drummond trade. I feel like you give up a lot for literally nothing.
Yeah, but D-Bird agrees with you. He said Drummond got empty stats.
Exactly. Like it ain't worth it. But hey, Nate said, how about trading?
Ask the same question, bro.
No, yeah, how about trading Rivers and Noel to Orlando for Ross and Bamba? I'm a fan of Bamba. Like honestly, like I feel like he's just not in a good position because he's in Orlando and they got Vucevic, who if I had Vucevic, he would play 40 minutes a game because he's a beast. Like he's quiet, he's calm, he gets his 20 to 25, 30 points a game and just chills. Like, so I'm not mad at them for not playing Bamba, but I would be a fan of getting Bamba, give him a chance to play in the Garden.
Yeah, I'd trade for Bamba as well, but I'd have to wait because I don't know how conditioned Bamba is, because Bamba had his stint with the Rona and he was still trying to work his way back. So trade off Noel, we'd have to wait until Taj Gibson gets healthy, until Mitchell Robinson gets healthy, because we can't ship off Nerlens Noel right now. But I understand where you're coming from, Nate. That would be a deal I would be open to, and I would consider that deal because Rivers isn't giving us anything. Rivers isn't playing, and Noel, he is a pretty good shot blocker, but I'm getting tired of him dropping passes, bro. It's just stressful at this point. stressful.
Yeah, it gets hard to watch.
Facts. And
I mean,
speaking of big trades, there was another little rumor, a little tidbit that's kind of been circulating right before we got on, and that would be Tibbs. Did you hear about that? Tibbs and Karl Anthony Towns?
nah, I mean, this is the first, like, when we spoke about it earlier, like, this is the first I heard about it.
Yeah,
I mean, no, go.
Stephon Bondi is saying that Tibbs would be open to a potential reunion between Cat and Tibbs.
I mean, I would like if Cat is available, like every team would want him, you know. I mean, I would be in favor of Cat. I mean, because you know he's talented. Like he could shoot. He actually has post moves. My only issue would be his defense, but I mean, Tibbs is all about defense. I'm sure he would have a coach to teach him that. So I mean, I'd be a fan of it.
I don't know if it worked when they were in Minnesota together though. We thought that was the case, but Timberwolves weren't that great defensively back then, and they used to get abused by corner threes back with Tibbs' time in the Timberwolves. Even though that's not really Cat's fault, but
No, but that wouldn't be us taking over the whole team. It's just incorporating Cat into the defense we've already built this season.
yeah. And Jonathan pulled up. He said, "Shout out to KSOM. ESPN just reported seconds ago Knicks and Heat are monitoring and interested in Victor Oladipo from Woj, so you know what time it is." Everybody's linked to the Knicks at this point.
All right, Victor Oladipo. That would answer our issue with small. I mean, because he could play small forward. He's more shooting guard, but he could do both. And he could shoot. He could score, create his own shot, and all that. My issue is just his health. Like, ain't he injured right now as we speak?
Has he come back yet? I gotta Google.
I don't know. I think he's injured currently. Like,
I know he wasn't healthy when we played him.
yeah. So I mean, that's my only issue with him. He literally cannot stay healthy, and
Yeah,
it's like,
oh no, he's out for injury management now. So yeah, that means they're about to trade him. You
all
start
right,
getting
cool.
sat for injury management, and you ain't have a long-term future with the team. You about to get traded.
All right, cool. So yeah, because I mean, I would be fine with it depending on what we got to give up. Because I ain't trying to give up much. I'll give up Kevin Knox. Give up Kevin Knox and call it a day.
You'll give up Kevin Knox for anything, bro.
I really would.
Second round draft pick, you'll give up Kevin Knox. Also, the chat is saying Zoe and Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes has gotten me tight this season, bro. I drafted Jackson Hayes last year in my fantasy thinking he was going to blossom, you know, maybe in year 2, year 3. But then they went and got Steven Adams.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And then Jackson Hayes went and pissed off the NBA he cursed them out or he told them something wild. And ever since then, he's been non-existent. And I still got him on fantasy, and I'm just tight. Like, bro, can you get some minutes?
Nice, quiet for him. I'm surprised he ain't get the Kevin Porter treatment. Like, yo, straight to the D League. I'm gonna talk crazy. I mean, I would be a fan. I would be a fan of that, but there's no, again, like once we got Rose, getting another point guard became pointless. You know, like I don't see us going out of our way to trade for another point guard, especially Lonzo.
But Lonzo been killing, bro. Have you seen what Lonzo been doing recently, especially from 3?
No, yeah, he been killing.
Yeah.
Remember, before the Derrick Rose thing, I was saying I want Lonzo. Like I would rather have him than a lot of the point guards we got that isn't named IQ. But we ain't go for that for some reason. But
I don't know. I just like Lonzo's play style.
No, that's when Rivers was getting minutes though. So with Rivers out the rotation, if we got to give up Frank Nitti, I'll take Zoe. Like, listen.
What'd you call it? The last couple games from Frank haven't changed your opinion on him? He still has to be out here?
I feel like he needs to be out of here while he still has some sort of value. Because if not, he's just going to be a free agent and we're going to get nothing.
What you call it? It seems like JD is listening to our pre-show conversation because he just asked, has anything recently changed your thoughts on Mitch in terms of his value to the team?
Oh, absolutely. So I mean, yeah, we were just talking about this before. Like, I don't know about Jan, but I'm gonna be completely honest. It doesn't seem like we miss Mitch. Like, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like anything's missing. Like, you look at the way we're playing, it doesn't seem any different. We're still winning games. Like, it doesn't seem like we have a player that's missing, especially a starter caliber player. But that's just my opinion. But it just doesn't feel like I haven't felt that we missed him. No
I feel you.
offense.
I feel like we have missed Mitch in some ways. Like I feel like teams are getting a lot easier looks in the paint. But I think as a team, the way we're playing defensively and we're playing hard on that end of the court, we're able to overcome some of the shortcomings you're seeing when Taj is in the game. Because normally it's Mitch with the starters, and then you're seeing Nerlens Noel kind of get his 3-4 blocks with the second unit. Now, so in the second unit, we're seeing, at least I'm seeing a lot more shots at the basket, but the team together, I think, is working to kind of minimize some of that. Because if you look, for the most part, I think we've kept teams in the last 4 or 5 games either at 100 or below. So I think as a team defensively, we're stepping up, and it's kind of covering some of the issues we may have, seeing that we don't have Mitch and we can't move Nerlens Noel to anchor the second unit.
No, yeah, I mean, but it's not that big a difference because even when, like we said, even when Mitch was playing, him in that foul trouble, like it would happen literally every game. It was hard for Mitch to even reach 30 minutes a game because of foul trouble. So,
True. I mean, but he's kind of corrected that now, and we've seen a lot of positives with him on the court. And JD is saying Noel played 41 minutes. I mean, Noel played 41 minutes because
his arms got hurt.
yeah, because he got hurt. So
Yeah.
you have to also go ahead and say that again.
No, I was just saying like that. That's why he played. Like if Taj wasn't hurt, then he wouldn't have played 41.
Let me see the exact amount of minutes that Taj played before he went down.
He played 4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes. Yeah.
And then JD was like, "Who do I like better, Beal or Levine? If it's for the Knicks, I'll take neither. Like honestly, I don't want a single one of them. But if I have to choose between them, obviously I would go with Beal just because he is less injury prone. I don't trust any players that are constantly injured, and Levine, I just can't trust it. And I feel like he doesn't have as much to give offensively as Beal. Beal is just in a different level.
Also, just to jump in real quick, we got 64 in the actual chat, but we only have 17 likes. Can you guys do me a solid and just smash that like button for me, please? Be greatly appreciated. And if you aren't subscribed already, now's a great time to make sure you're subscribed. All right, appreciate it. All right, Inf. You ready for the game tonight? It's gonna be DSJ's revenge game.
Oh wait, just JD said, "Wait, what he got to do to make me believe in Mitch?" I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Let Mitch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Mitch could do. He just needs to. I don't know. I don't have the answer. He just needs to be better.
I don't have the answer, Sway. Mitch got to catch some passes. That's number one, and he's got to expand his offensive repertoire.
He got to stop falling down for everything. That's when he needs to immediately stop falling down. That's all he does. He falls down trying to get a foul, doesn't get the foul, and then easy basket. I hate it. But you were saying the return of Dennis Smith Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm not petty. Like I'm happy to see Dennis Smith in a different situation, actually playing good basketball, not winning basketball. Obviously, I mean, both games that he started, he's lost. But in both of them, he put up numbers. In the first game, he had like 11 points, 7 assists, like 3 steals, 2 blocks. Like he put up numbers. And then in the most recent game, he had 17 points, 7 assists. Like I'm glad to see him out there like contributing, to losing basketball.
If you got those shade,
I mean, he ain't a Knick no more, so.
Right. Well, let's hope he plays well and continues to contribute to some losing basketball tonight, because this is a trap game for me. This is one of those games the Knicks should win, but everything is kind of lined up against them. Because like we said earlier with JD pointing out, Nerlens Noel played 41 some odd minutes. Julius Randle played 42 minutes. Like, Taj Gibson, I'm assuming, is going to be out.
Yeah, I mean,
You
but
know?
hopefully, fingers crossed, this means more minutes for Obi. Hopefully.
Facts. What you call it?
I mean,
Somebody that's named Lloyd Banks says, "Salute, brothers. Keep up the good work. Let's get this win, New York Knicks." Well, if that's the real Lloyd Banks and he's a Knicks fan, let's go Knicks, definitely, man. We should see you in the Garden, Lloyd. Do your thing. All right, yo, Banks, get Mitch and Obi some Zoe. Gotham LOB. Y'all got Banks in the building, fellas. Wow, that's the real Lloyd Banks.
you know,
I don't know how verification goes on YouTube, but like I said, if that's the real Lloyd Banks, thank you for pulling up and supporting the channel. Make sure you subscribe, bro. Definitely one of my favorite New York rappers.
yeah, that is true.
Facts. So yeah, Dennis Smith Jr. Let's hope he continues to contribute to losing basketball. And I'm expecting Randall to go off. We have to contain Jeremy Grant. That's one thing we have to make sure we're doing. He's the one piece on that team right now that's been going off recently.
Oh yeah, they confirmed real Banks. That's what's up.
That's fire.
But no, yeah, Jerry and Grant, like he's been Jeremy Grant. Yeah, like the last game he had 30 and an out. I'm just saying, like, there's no excuse for us to lose this game. We're on a little streak right now. We finally hit 500. Like, this is the one game we need to finally put us over 500. Because I feel like there's been a couple times where we've gotten to 500, and then it hasn't gone well for us. So hopefully, granted, that's been pre-Derrick Rose, you know? So hopefully now we have good leadership and we're able to take that next step.
Yeah,
but like I said, whose responsibility is it to shut down Jeremy Grant? That would be
Randall. Jeremy Grant playing the 4, right?
No, he's been playing 3.
He's been playing the 3?
Yeah, so RJ got something to deal with tonight.
Oh yeah, Bullock. Well, Bullock is supposed to be a 3-and-D. Now it's his time to show he can play some defense. Because Jeremy Grant is really the only player I'm really worried about on that team, honestly. And maybe DSJ, because he got some hate in his heart and he wants to avenge his failed career in New York. Those are the only 2 players I'm really going to be focused on right now.
Nah, I think DSJ is going to choke. I feel like he's going to want to do good so bad that it's just not going to work out.
Oh, Annuity, thank you for pointing out Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is another rookie that's been out there killing, bro. I tried to pick him up from waivers. Somebody didn't draft him. But he's been doing his thing for the Pistons.
No, and
he beat RJ too. I forgot. I think it was the preseason game against him, and he bodied RJ for an easy layup. Straight babied him.
I mean, RJ, he needs to get stronger. But when
needs to build up.
Grant is playing the 4 since Blake is out. I forgot Blake was out. I forgot he was even on that team. They need to trade.
They trying to ship. They trying to trade him. Him and Drummond are in the same situation right now.
Yeah, I think they're trying to trade Blake to Boston. That's the last I heard.
JD's asking. Go ahead.
Boston needs everything. Like they tight. How do you have that much star power, firepower at one time and do straight nothing with it for years? And now you just out here looking bad.
Facts. JD's asking, who do you guys think gets extra minutes? Knox with small ball or Obi? Taj out. Noel just played 41 minutes. I think you're going to see both. I don't think Tibbs is going to trust either Knox or Obi with enough minutes on their own. So you're going to see some Knox sprinkled in with some small ball lineups, and then you're also going to see Obi get some minutes as well. I'm expecting the splits. Knox may get more minutes because I think he probably has more faith in Knox because Knox is more so a quote-unquote vet. So let's say Knox maybe get 15, 16 minutes, and Obi will get like 12.
I'm going to keep it. I don't think any of them. Knowing Tibbs, I feel like it's going to be pushing, like if what's his name is out, if Noel needs to sit, like pushing Randall to the 5 and going real small ball with like Austin Rivers, Frank Nitti, like them picking up minutes, just because he hasn't shown Obi nothing, and he's shown Knox even less than nothing. So
yeah. Also, just want to shout out one of my former coworkers. D was good. M Toast Vids. Check him out on YouTube. Started producing some Knicks content. Definitely a devoted Knicks fan. We used to talk Knicks all the time at work on lunch break. So definitely check him out.
Or
for small ball. I think they're gonna use Knox more so for small ball because at least you go small ball with Knox. I'm gonna assume they're gonna get a bigger benefit from that lineup because Knox is more deadly and more dangerous from three than Obi is. Even with Obi out there for small ball lineups, that I'm not really threatened with Obi out there. I'm still gonna collapse the paint and make things difficult for Randall. So at least if Knox is out there at the 4 and maybe you have Randall at the 5, Randall's gonna have a lot more room to operate in the paint.
I mean, true, but that's only if Thibs look at it that way, which I don't think I'm telling you, I don't think he's going to win any of them. I feel like we're going to see a lot of guard minutes. And
so?
look,
That's what
he
he's gonna
said,
do?
no, Julius playing 47 minutes.
he can't keep playing Julius like this, you know? I mean,
No,
I
yeah,
think this is a game where Julius doesn't have to play 47 minutes.
I don't know if he got Jarian to deal with, he might have to. Because they be treating Jarian like he's Kobe, R.I.P.
Yeah, don't
like,
be disrespecting Kobe like that, bro.
No, I mean like literally.
Now
like,
Kobe behind me like that, bro. You can't be making claims like that.
Nah, but like he literally gets free reign to do whatever he wants because there's nobody else.
Who else is out there?
Exactly. So Randall's gonna have to deal with that.
What you call it? Nudie said Julius is gonna get smoked. And D-Burr agrees with me. Knox out there keeps the defense honest. Yep. You can't collapse. You can't collapse. You can't collapse the paint like that with Knox out there, especially if he's standing in the corner twiddling his thumbs, because he's pretty good at that. Anytime you see him out there, he's just standing in the corner like,
am I gonna touch the ball this time?
Yeah, bro. I think it was a RJ Barrett 3 on the opposite corner, and they were showing the highlight of the bench, and Knox just standing there looking the whole play, just looking. And it runs down to the other side of the court. I'm like, dang, Knox, at least get a little jog on, break a sweat.
Nah, I don't, I mean, you already know I gave up on Knox. I felt like he had the highest ceiling of all the Knicks that we currently have on our roster, and he let me down. So
yeah. JD wants a prediction out of us though. So what's your prediction of?
My prediction, Knicks win by more than 5.
Give me a number. What you think? 105, 100, 107, 102?
I'll say 105 to 98. Yeah, Detroit, they ain't dropping 100 on us.
You think so?
Yeah, no, it's quiet for them.
All right, I was thinking something along the same lines. I was thinking 103, 97.
103, 97.
I mean, we're fresh off of back-to-back, so the game is going to be closer than I would expect. Like, if both teams were healthy, I think the Knicks would beat the brakes off the Pistons. But the Pistons have played competitive against the Nets. They beat the Nets. I think they were like one of the last teams to beat the Nets, I think, or if I'm not mistaken. And then they also went to double overtime with the Lakers. So they've been playing some competitive games. I just hope that the team is rested enough to actually go in there, kick them in the face and get that W tonight.
Well, I mean, I don't know about rested. I don't think a Tom Thibodeau team has ever been rested, even with 2 games off. Listen, man. Julius and Nerlens last game played 41 minutes apiece. Derrick Rose 37, RJ 34. I don't know.
Saying the Pistons a trap game is everything is set up for a trap game, but let's hope the Knicks don't fall for it.
I mean, listen, if Tibbs is able to go into the bench this game and give some of our starters a break, I mean, we have a fun game to watch, an easy win. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's good. But all right, the game's about to start. I want to order my beers, get comfortable for the game. I might do a little post-game video. I normally don't do too many of those, but since I'm home and I get to relax and actually watch the game live, I'll drop a video for you guys. What you call it? Jerome says he hopes DJ plays well. Yeah, we hope he plays well too. We just also hope he loses.
Yeah, he's been playing good basketball, for a losing team. So let him keep that up.
Yo, if you hilarious, bro.
You can't knock good losing basketball.
What? You can't knock good losing basketball?
Yeah, you can't knock it. Like he's playing good basketball. He's just losing. Like it happens.
I hear you. All right, guys. So that's the end of the show. Once again, this is the Knicks State of Mind podcast, eloquently known as KSOM. I'm your host, Quis, joined as always by my co-host, Inf,
It's good.
and we're out.